Welcome back, Stoic warriors. Let me ask you something. Have you ever looked into the mirror and felt like you were staring into the hollow eyes of a stranger? A man you don't recognize anymore. The man who once carried a blazing spark, now reduced to something dull, numb and detached, like a shadow drifting aimlessly through a life he was never meant to live. It's as if the fire that once roared inside has been smothered, leaving behind only cold ashes and a ghost trapped inside his own skin. You see, that reflection isn't just a man. It's a warning, a signal from the deepest part of your soul that something's broken, something vital has been stolen. That man staring back at you is a ghost of potential lost to fear, pain, and the crushing weight of surrender. The spark, it's faded, but not forever. It's waiting beneath layers of numbness, under the weight of silent defeats, ready to explode into flames if you dare to feed it again. This is no ordinary reflection. This is the battleground of your soul, calling you to wake up, to fight, to reclaim what you lost and burn brighter than ever before. Have you felt the slow decay, the creeping numbness that turns fire into ash? The weight that drags your spirit down until every breath feels like a battle against the tide of exhaustion. Maybe life struck you so brutally, so relentlessly, that you stopped throwing punches. Maybe you learned to live with the pain instead of mastering it. You became familiar with the heaviness, the fog, the endless drag of days bleeding into one another, less than what you dreamed of, less than the man you swore to become. The fire inside you, once fierce and untouchable, now flickers, barely holding on, whispering lies that surrender is easier than the fight. But fire doesn't die. It hides. It waits. Beneath the ash and silence, that spark is starving for oxygen, for a reason, for one moment where you choose to feed it instead of snuffing it out. This moment, the one you're living right now, is that breath, the line between death and rebirth. Will you ignite your soul or let it suffocate in shadows? A man who kneels to comfort has already traded his strength for weakness. A man who flees discomfort has already lost the war before it began. And a man who refuses to evolve, he's buried beneath his own cowardice, 6 feet under the weight of wasted seconds and excuses. But a stoic warrior, he doesn't beg life for mercy. He grabs the blade pressed to his throat and turns it into a weapon of war. Pain becomes his fuel, rejection his armor, loss his wisdom. He doesn't bow to suffering, he forces it to bow to him. Every man hits the edge, where the old self must burn away, where comfort and weakness are slaughtered. Not someday, not tomorrow. Now, kill the excuses, bury the past, rip yourself from the coffin of complacency you've rotted in. Reforge your spirit with fire in your chest and steel in your spine. This is the battlefield of your soul, the moment that defines everything after. But it means nothing if you freeze, if you hesitate, if you let the flame flicker out. Move, fight, tear down every chain holding you back. Own your scars and failures like badges of unbreakable strength. You are not the man who cowered. You are the beast who rose, roaring from bloodied ashes. The fire inside you screams. Don't silence it. Let it burn you whole and rebuild you unstoppable. This isn't just a video. This is your resurrection. If that fire stirs inside you, don't just watch. Hit like, subscribe, and leave your battle cry in the comments. Join this tribe of warriors who refuse to fade quietly. Don't skip a second. Every word is a spark to wake the beast you were born to be. The war is just beginning. Now let's go. Number 1. Reset. Burn the past. Set yourself free. You will never sprint into the life that's waiting for you while you're still dragging a coffin full of memories behind you. Some men think they're being loyal by clinging to the past. They confuse guilt with honor. They carry the weight of old heartbreaks like they're holy scars. But all it's doing is choking the fire out of them, that breakup that left you shattered on the floor. It wasn't the end of your story. It was the explosion that cracked the shell around your soul. It was the match that lit the furnace. You didn't lose her. You found the raw pieces of yourself you buried, trying to keep her. Let the memories melt. Let the pain scream one last time, then silence it. If it doesn't ignite your spirit, it's poison in your bloodstream. Let it burn until there's nothing left but the man you were always meant to be. Your failures? They weren't curses. They weren't proof you're broken. They were brutal teachers sent to shatter your illusions. The missed chances, the wrong turns, the doors slammed in your face. They weren't your punishment. They were your preparation. They were stripping you down, killing the ego, burning away the weakness. You weren't being destroyed. You were being forged in fire. So stop grieving over the embers. You don't mourn the blacksmith's flame. You thank it. You walk out of that inferno with a steel spine and a gaze that doesn't flinch. Every time you got knocked down was just a rehearsal for the moment you rise without fear, without apology. And those people who left you bleeding in silence, the ones who smiled while you suffered, who vanished when the storm hit. Don't curse them. Don't chase them. Don't give them a second of your breath. They were never your tribe. They were just chapters in a book they were never meant to finish. Stop rereading pages that never deserved your story. The truth is, they didn't betray you. They revealed themselves. They were mirrors. They were signs screaming wrong direction. Let them rot in the corners of your memory. You don't need closure. You need distance. You owe them nothing. No message, no revenge, no explanation. Silence is your sword now. Walk on and let your future haunt them. But the hardest ghost to bury, it's the one in your mirror, the man who let it all happen, the one who stayed too long, begged too hard, believed too easily. You might hate him, you might pity him, but don't carry him. That man is dead. He had his time. He made his choices. He fell on his knees. But you're standing now. And the man who stands doesn't owe his old self anything. Not an apology, not a second chance, just a funeral. Let him die so you can finally live. Some men love their wounds more than their future. They speak in the language of "I used to be," as if that's a badge of honor. I failed, so I'll fail again. No, that's not truth. That's fear disguised as logic. That's the defeated voice of a man who doesn't remember he's still breathing. You are not your lowest moment. You are the fire that survived it. You are the storm that refused to break. Marcus Aurelius said it sharp. The past is beyond us, gone, done, smoke in the wind. So stop kneeling at the grave of your history. Stand. Tear up the contract you signed with pain. Burn the rules that kept you tame. Break the mirror that only showed your flaws. Every scar on your body is a war map, not a prison tattoo. They don't define where you're stuck. They prove where you refused to stay. Your story isn't carved in stone. It's written in ash, and you hold the torch now. So light up the wreckage. Let the flames dance. Let every ghost that ever whispered, "You're not enough," choke in the smoke of their own lies. This is your rebirth. This is your reckoning. You are not meant to live in the rear view. You are not here to replay the pain. You are here to rise from the rubble and make the earth remember your name. You're the man who crawled through fire and came out golden. You're the future, unshackled, unhinged, unbreakable. Let the fire consume what was. Let it eat every fear, every fake friend, every voice that tried to cage you. Because you're not becoming something ordinary. You're about to become something this world has never seen. Number 2. Restart. Rebuild your life like a warrior rising from rubble. There's a silent prison most men never admit exists, the fear of starting over. It's not the fall that breaks them, it's the thought of climbing back up from zero, the shame of being a beginner again, the weight of judgment from eyes that expect perfection, the gut-wrenching discomfort of admitting you don't have it all figured out. These are the chains that hold them hostage. But here's the unvarnished truth. Restarting isn't weakness. It's the fiercest form of power you can wield. It's the moment you look at the wreckage of your life and decide, I will build again. I will forge a kingdom from ruins. That choice alone separates the weak from the invincible, the lost from the legends. The men who shatter and disappear were never meant to rise, but the indestructible. They are born in the ashes of destruction itself. When the ground beneath them crumbles, they don't break, they don't beg, they don't hope for rescue. They rise, they grind, they construct, brick by bloody brick, bone by burning bone, with hands torn and hearts harder than steel. The world will rip you apart like a storm tearing down a tree, stripping you bare and leaving you gasping on the cold earth. But the battle isn't over when you fall. It's just beginning. What you do when everything crashes down, that's the story that writes your name in fire. Seneca, the old master, nailed it. Difficulties don't destroy the mind. They carve it sharp, like the blacksmith's hammer shapes iron. Every hard punch life threw at you, every failure that crushed your spirit, every moment when you felt the weight of the world pressing you under its boot. That was your crucible. That was the inferno where something ruthless was being born inside you, not a broken man, not a casualty, but a warrior forged to dominate whatever hell comes next. So stop scrambling to survive. Stop begging life for mercy. Start commanding. Start constructing your empire from the shards of your past. You are not a victim stuck in a never-ending nightmare. You are the architect of a legend. You're not restarting as the man who broke and bled. You're restarting as the man who stared into hell's eyes and turned those same hands, once clawing through fire, into the builders of heaven. This is your rebirth. This is the reckoning of the man you were meant to become. Tear down every doubt, every voice that told you you're finished. Rip the ashes out of your lungs and breathe fire into your veins. The road will be brutal. It will demand everything you have, and then some. But it will also carve you into a force no one will ever forget. No one will see you coming until it's too late. So stand now, not as the broken, not as the lost, but as the man who is crafting a future so fierce it will scorch the earth beneath his feet. Restart, rebuild, rise like a warrior forged in the fiercest blaze, and make this life yours. No apologies, no regrets, just unstoppable power. Number 3. Refocus. Lock in like your life depends on it, because it does. Look around. The world is drowning in noise, a hurricane of distraction sweeping millions off their feet every second. People endlessly scrolling, flicking through hollow screens, trading the most precious currency they have, time, for mindless dopamine hits. They bury themselves in apps, gossip, porn, drama, and comfort zones so deep they forget what real fire feels like. And then they wonder why their souls feel empty. Why mornings come like a weight dragging them down instead of a spark pulling them up. Let them drift. Let them vanish in that fog of aimless noise. But you don't have the luxury of wandering. You were born for war, not some polite, casual battle, but a relentless, brutal conquest. You were made to dominate the chaos, to rise above the noise. But here's the catch. You don't do it by yelling louder. You do it with silence, with precision, with an obsession so deep it consumes you. Focus isn't some vague idea of success. It's a matter of survival. Lock in so fiercely that nothing, absolutely nothing, can yank you off your path. No temptations disguised as pleasures. No whisper of doubt that creeps into your mind like a thief in the night. No meaningless distractions screaming for your attention. Burn the fluff. Incinerate the fake friendships that only hold you back. Set fire to the useless conversations that drain your energy. Destroy the shallow goals that give you the illusion of progress without substance. Focus is fire. Pure, white-hot, merciless fire. You either grab the torch and wield it, or you let it consume you and burn you to ash. Epictetus said it best. Freedom lies in choosing your thoughts. That's the brutal core of this truth. This is radical control, ruthless clarity. Your mind is a battlefield, and every thought you let in is a soldier. If the thought doesn't serve your mission, if it doesn't sharpen your edge, it is your enemy. It doesn't matter if it's fun. It doesn't matter if it's easy. It doesn't matter if it's the popular choice. If it weakens your grip on your goal, cut it loose. Don't hesitate. Don't bargain. Cut it loose. Because this isn't about building a life of comfort or fleeting pleasures. This is about carving a legacy so fierce, so unshakable, it will echo long after your name is spoken for the last time. Your focus isn't a suggestion, it's your sword, your weapon against mediocrity, against the chaos, against the empty noise. So wield it like your life depends on it, because it does. Number 4. Protect your energy like it's your soul, because it is. Protect your energy like it's your very soul, because in every sense, it is. This isn't just about feeling tired or worn out. This is about the essence of who you are, the unseen fire that drives your every breath, every thought, every move forward. Your energy is sacred, a rare and priceless force that shapes your reality. And yet, how often do you let it slip away, like sand through your fingers, handed out to those who barely deserve a glance, let alone your full presence? Not everyone deserves your energy. Read that again, slowly, let it sink in. Not everyone is worthy of your kindness, your time, your passion, or your light. Your energy is the fuel of your future. It's the quiet power behind your dreams, the fire that will carve the path to your destiny. So why then have you wasted it on people who drain it like vultures circling a dying carcass? How many mornings have you woken up empty, worn down by the weight of others who never deserved a second of your soul? You are not a battery to be drained. You are not a garbage dump for the broken, the bitter, or the insecure. Stop giving your light to those who live in darkness, the ones who use you, mock your dreams, belittle your fire. They are not your tribe. They are thieves in disguise, prowling for the chance to rob you of your peace, your progress, your power. They feed off your energy, leaving behind nothing but exhaustion and doubt. You owe them nothing. No explanations, no apologies, no closure. Sometimes the strongest move you can make is silence. Cold, ruthless silence that says you are no longer available to be their victim. You're not here to shrink so others can feel bigger. You are here to rise, fierce, unapologetic, unstoppable. Cut the cord. Sever the ties that bind your energy to those who only take and never give. Protect your inner fire like a lion guards his bloodline. Fierce, unyielding, relentless. The moment you stop bleeding your energy for those who never truly cared, That is the moment your power becomes unbreakable. The moment you stop drowning in the chaos of others' shadows. That is the moment you step into your own light, bright enough to blind anyone who tries to dim it. This is not selfishness. This is survival. This is the only way to become who you were always meant to be. You're a force of nature, raw and wild, not a caretaker for every lost soul who crosses your path. Your energy is your legacy. Protect it fiercely. Guard it with everything you've got. Because when you do, when you finally stop pouring yourself into empty vessels, you'll find something no one can ever take away: peace, clarity, and a relentless power that echoes through every part of your life. That power starts with you, right here, right now. Number 5. Discipline over feelings, always. Discipline over feelings, always. This isn't a suggestion or some casual advice tossed around to sound motivational. This is the unbreakable law you must swear by if you want to rise above the chaos of your own mind and the world's relentless pressure. Feelings, they are fleeting storms, wild, unpredictable, and ultimately unreliable. They will betray you the moment life turns brutal. Motivation is a lie wrapped in a sugar-coated fantasy, an illusion that floods your veins with adrenaline only to vanish the second the storm crashes down. Discipline is different. Discipline is war. It's the iron forged in fire, tempered by pain, shaped by relentless battle. It doesn't fade when the world shakes. It burns long after motivation has run dry, when every voice inside screams for surrender. Discipline is the voice that tells you to stand tall when your legs are broken, when your heart is splintered, when your mind begs you to quit. It's the fierce roar in the silence of your doubt. It doesn't wait for permission. It doesn't ask if you're ready. It commands, demands, drags you forward, because there is no perfect moment. The myth of feeling ready is the cruelest scam you've ever told yourself. You're never going to feel ready. Never. The perfect alignment of mind, body, and soul is a lie sold by those who fear discomfort. That's why you move regardless. You push forward when your bones ache like shattered glass beneath your skin. You fight through when your heart feels cracked wide open, bleeding truth. You grind when your mind screams to give up, to fold, to disappear into the shadows. You become a force no pain can stop, no fear can shake. You become a storm that refuses to break. Marcus Aurelius carved this truth into history. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Your weakness, the raw, exposed parts of you, are not your chains. They are your training ground. The resistance you face every day is not a curse, but your rite of passage. Every moment you choose discipline over comfort, you chisel a version of yourself carved from steel. A self that no failure can erode, no time can wear down, no world can conquer. Discipline is not doing what you want, it's doing what must be done. Even when every fiber of your being screams for ease, for softness, for surrender. It's the brutal truth that progress never bows to desire, that strength is born from sacrifice, that the only way out is through. This is the forge where greatness is hammered into existence. This is the path that separates the fleeting from the eternal. So when your soul begs for rest, when your mind pleads for mercy, when your body threatens to give in, remember this: discipline is the weapon you wield to claim your life. It's the silent promise you make to yourself every damn day. It's the fire that burns under the ashes of your broken dreams. It's the voice that says, I will move, I will fight, I will become more. Because discipline doesn't care about feelings. Discipline cares about results. And in the end, results are all that matter. Listen closely. This is the crossroads. Not some distant choice you'll make tomorrow or next week. This is right now, the moment your life fractures and the old you stands bleeding in the wreckage. No one is coming to save you. There is no hero riding in with a shining sword or a second chance tucked in their pocket. The battlefield is yours alone. The war for your future isn't waiting on anyone else's mercy or timing. It demands you show up, raw, unfiltered, ready to fight. You face two roads that split the horizon. One path is the chains of your past, the heavy, rusted shackles of fear, regret, and excuses that have kept you buried alive. You can wear those chains like a coffin, suffocating under the weight of every lie you told yourself to stay small. Or you can rip those chains apart, splinter by splinter, until nothing remains but ash and freedom. You either annihilate the man who hid behind excuses, the version of you that begged for comfort and shied from the hard fight, or you rot inside his skin, slowly decaying into someone you don't even recognize. This is no time for half measures or soft promises. You must burn down everything that kept you weak. The toxic thoughts, the paralyzing fears, the people who fed on your hesitation. You must incinerate every part of your old life that screamed, "Stay scared, stay small." Because if you don't, regret will gnaw at your soul like a ravenous beast, tearing you apart piece by piece in the silence of your nights. The fire in your chest right now, that is your signal, your battle cry, your invitation to rise from the ashes of who you were and forge something new. This is your moment, not some abstract future or distant dream. This is the war for your life, for your future, for the power you were born to claim. And you must rise. You don't get to sit this one out. You don't get to tiptoe around fear or bargain with failure. The only option is to rise fierce and relentless, fueled by every scar, every loss, every dark night you survived. This moment demands your everything. No apologies, no compromises. If this cracked something raw and fierce inside you, if it shattered the cage holding your true self captive, then don't let this moment slip away. Smash that like your life depends on it. Type out, "I'm annihilating my old self today," with fire in your fingers. Hit subscribe and step into the tribe of those who refuse to settle for less than total transformation. Because there is no turning back, no waiting for permission, no mercy for the part of you that wants to quit. This is the battlefield, and it's time to set the damn world on fire.